In example 2, what we're going to look at is a function 4x minus 3y equals 15. It's different than example 1 because y is not already solved for by itself. So the only difference is we have to go ahead and solve for y first. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to rewrite my problem over here. I have 4x minus 3y equal to 15. And to solve for y, the very first thing I have to do is subtract 4x from both sides. When I do that, I get negative 3y equal to 15 minus 4x. Then I need to divide everything by negative 3. And if I do that, I get y equals 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. And a negative divided by a negative will make that a positive 4 over 3 times x. Then I'm going to come to my calculator here, and I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to hit my y equals button. I'm going to type in negative 5 plus 4/3, remember, goes in parentheses, 4 divided by 3, close the parentheses, and get your x. Remember, down here, that's your x right next to that alpha key. To look at my table of values, I'm going to go to the table button, which is here. Since it's in blue, I'm going to hit the blue second key first. And then I can scroll up and down and find some points. So if I scroll up a little bit, looking for some good points, I get negative 3, negative 9. That's a nice point, so let's go ahead and put that point in there. So negative 3, negative 9, and it will fit on my graph. If I go down, I get 0, negative 5. That's a good one. If I continue to go down and look for some nice points, I see 3, negative 1. I can continue to scroll down. Oh, I get to the point 6 and 3. And as I continue to work myself down, I get the point 9 and 7. Now if I kept going down, here I get the point 12 and 11. 12 and 11 is a great point. However, it's not a good point for our graph that we have right here. Remember, our graph goes from negative 10 to 10 in both directions. So this point 12, 11, I can't plot that on my graph because it won't fit. It'll be off the graph. So that's a point that you would not want to have in your table. Now that I have my points, I'm going to go ahead and plot them on my graph. So I have negative 3, negative 9, 0, negative 5 is right here, 3, negative 1, 6, 3, and 9, 7. Remember, when you draw your lines, I want them to be straight. You can use your ID as a nice straight edge. I don't have that luxury here with my videos, so I'm going to do the best that I can, and I get my straight line. If you want to compare your line with your calculator, just hit that graph key, and you should see that it's going in the same direction. This is going up from left to right, as this one is. And so it's in the same spot as this one is as well, so you should know that you did your answer correct, as long as you solve for y correctly. Now I would like you to try this. So if you kind of scroll down here, I want you to solve for y, get your table, get your graph, and then check your answer. So go ahead and pause it now. If you did this problem correctly, we're going to check all 3 spots. If you solved for y correctly, you should have gotten y equals 3 minus 2 over 5 times x. Once you have that part correct, then check your table. Some possibilities for the table are negative 10, 7, negative 5 and 5, 0 and 3, 5 and 1, 10 and negative 1. And if we plot those points, your graph, negative 5 and 5, 0 and 3, 5 and 1, and 10, negative 1, your graph should look like that. Again, yours should be straight. I apologize for mine not being straight. If you have any questions on any part, solving for y, finding your table, or plotting those points, let me know.